So, welcome to Chicago Communicators News Media remote broadcast. And I have three wonderful people with me today because I have what I'm not going to say the word.
You can't count me.
Oh Lord! And
Wait,
so
wait a minute. So Ava, she's counting herself. How egotistical, Wanda.
I was a guinea pig. That's
Oh.
was using me.
Oh well.
I did use her. I used her. I surely did.
Oh well, join the club.
Because I had Levette on too, trying to figure out how to do it to my website. But
go ahead with your show. You know I've been Wanda's guinea pig for 35 years.
Anyway, so this evening we're going to be talking about the stimulus because there's so many people out of work and staying home because they are trying to comply with the CDC. If you're over 65 like I am, then you're supposed to stay home and stay isolated. So what say you? According to CCN, they say the congressional leaders, after months of bitter stalemate, millions of Americans have been eager for the relief. And we're waiting for this relief. And so they say that there's going to be a $9 billion
900
billion stimulus package. So I want to know when this money is going to be released. And according to Grady, he said that they have to generate a bill before this money will be released. And then once the bill is passed, then the money is allocated to the states, and the state then allocates the money to the city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. How long is this process gonna take?
Well, the hookup or the hiccup is that the money to state and local government is part of the problem, as well as trying to get insurance to protect corporate America from lawsuits from their employees. So they took those two issues, put them over in bucket two. In bucket one is the regular stimulus, whereby PPE for local business is in bucket one. Unemployment benefits of $300 a week for, I think they said 18 weeks, is in bucket one. And the $600 per person is in bucket one. And if you
who gets the $600 per person?
Most people, like you, me, will get that. So,
but I'm unemployed. I'm on unemployment. So will I?
You same thing like last time.
Oh.
When everybody got their $1,200 check, even if they was on unemployment.
Okay.
So that's the way they're supposed to still work.
Okay.
Now.
Question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Is that 600 that you're referring to? Is that the last time was that 1,200? So has it been?
Yes, right. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But see, that's just to go to show us that by us not being part of the 1%, this is how you're treated as part of the 99%. To them, you're a lower class. So you're not on their level.
And then some.
That's not news.
Well, I know.
You say that in news.
I mean, it's sad.
It is.
And see, what I say to white folks that's part of the 99% that keep voting for these idiots, this is what you get.
Yeah.
You know, the idiots down there in Kentucky, they put Mitch back in. The idiots in South Carolina, they put Lindsey Graham back in. Yep. So what do you expect from these fools?
Yeah.
Okay. You white You part of the 99% class, and these people that you voted for told you you don't mean a damn thing to them,
Yeah.
but you voted for them anyway.
Yeah.
Now, we're all part of what we call Main Street. Main Street. We built out Wall Street in 2009. Wall Street need to understand, and I do think some of them on Wall Street do understand that Main Street needs some help. Okay, that's why some of them folks on Wall Street told them folks, you guys need to do something for these people.
Yeah, they need to do something.
But they didn't care. They didn't care. You had 20 senators, 20 Republican senators said they didn't give a damn about the 99%.
That's now those 20, we are,
Yeah.
do you know who they are? We need
I
to
don't know.
spread that out. We need to spread that around so people know when it's come time to elect the senators, those
Yeah.
20 should not be reelected.
Oh, I agree. I agree. But see, that's why I take issue with the Democratic Party. They sit back and they let these sorry individuals sit there in the Senate
Yeah.
and do absolutely nothing while you got 10,000 people in their cars parked behind each other trying to get a handout.
Trying to get a handout.
10,000.
What say you, Levette? I can't hear nothing. Hey,
Can you hear me?
Levette?
Can you hear me? Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you now, yes.
Oh, okay. I think that there's so much truth to every angle that we take up, as we have conversations.
Yeah.
I was listening to Anthony talk about how the rural whites allowed some things to happen. But the difference is that their incentive may be what might save some of them is the fact that something might have been set aside for them. And that's what, and pretty much, the most of your rural whites have something to do with your farms, with your pig farms, your chicken farms, and what or either if you're growing grain, and a lot of them didn't suffer the same plight because they were handed a check.
Mm-hmm.
That whatever that trade-off was with China and the tariffs, they wound up getting a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we wound up getting a box. So the trade-off is so much different in the sense that there's got to be a different strategy to our connection to resources, because this road that we're traveling, 50 years from now, we'll be having the same conversation.
I hope not.
How the and what these white folks are doing right now, what they're actually doing, they are distributing our wealth amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And whatever is in the treasury is due to us as far as reparations, because if you have a debt to society, and when that debt is due, you gotta pay. And Black indigenous people had a debt due to them from America. And they're overdue because it should have been 2019 where that check should have been written.
Yes.
And so now we're going into 2021. Now this is going into the second year, and we still haven't heard what's in the declaration. And that's what we need to revisit. You know,
Yeah.
instead of just talking about reparations and what's due us, we need to go back into the archives and really digest what it said. Because what did it say? And so until we can speak the language and change the narrative, that's the thing. Are we asking the right questions? Are we having the right conversations to get the right answers? Because if we're twisted and turned and misdirected as we are, then it will be forever before we get to our truth.
Right.
And so that's a conversation that really needs to take place, is what's due us and what did the law say? Now, if everybody wants to abide by the law, then let's see what the law said about what's due us after 400 years. It was something. And
Well-
so, and Trump actually put forth some kind of policy that was supposed to be a directive with the reparations. It was so that's something that I'll look into as well, to see what exactly did Trump declare. He declared something for the 400 years of the Black enslaved in America.
Yeah, he gave $20,000 to those of us who could have claimed that 20,000. But
Talk about it. Small business grants. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, when you think about what was owed us, the problem was when Lincoln did what he did.
Okay.
Well, we supposed to have gotten that 40 acres and a mule. Well, Andrew Jackson came behind him and sort of said, strike that.
Okay.
And so the 40 acres and a mule became history. And those of us who did get the 40 acres and a mule.
You say you're thinking some of us did get it?
Yeah, some of us did get it. But we lost it because of taxes for some of those.
But you know what, too, Anthony? I remember that story, right?
Yes.
And this is the kicker on when Andrew Jackson told Lincoln that forget about that. The reason that they even got that is because of their servitude to with the Union war, you know, with the Civil War. You know, the side that they chose to help win, when they got that reparation and it was taken back from them, the government turned around and gave the land to the white folks that the black folks freed them from.
Yeah.
Ain't that nothing?
That's what
You just helped
That's what
free
they
this
did.
dude from his enemy, and afterwards you turn around and get a land because they had the land.
Yeah.
They were living on the land.
Yeah.
And they turned around and gave it to their enemy. How rotten to the core is that? And that shows you that no matter what side white folks reside on, they are one. They are united.
They are.
And so as we understand that principle, if we were to have that dialogue, and as a matter of fact, I did have that dialogue tonight with Charles Howlett, and I was telling him about your show, and that is the strategy, is not saying what can you do for me? But here's my plan. Now I need your resources to carry it out.
Yeah.
Because there's too much distribution of wealth going on right now. Even this $900 billion,
Yeah.
they're keeping half of. If you have a bill that had the potential of being funded at $1.6 trillion, then you negotiate downward. That means that you had the $1.6 trillion. Oh, you had it to start with, because that's where you started.
Yes.
But then where you ended is half of that, and then you took the other half. Now you're getting ready to distribute that amongst yourselves. And so it is a lot of strategy, because right now, this government is under a coup, and people better recognize seriously, because Russia just hacked the Treasury, the Department of Commerce.
Yes.
That's where all the money at, right?
Yeah.
They just hacked, they just breached all of the departments. Because why? Because when this dude, this leader so-called, went into that meeting in the beginning of the government with this dude in privacy, that's when they got all the codes to begin with.
Yeah.
And so it is like, where is the black man, black woman in the strategy to save themselves? Because every other ethnic group, they're having unification conversations right now to see how they survive economically, spiritually, physically.
That's why it's so important that we do this, you all. It's so important that we talk amongst ourselves and strategize on what we need to do to turn this whole situation around. Because we've been under captive for over 400 years. And now it's time that we start doing whatever's necessary so that we can free ourselves. We got to stop waiting on somebody else to free us. We got to do it.
So what would your, like, if you had a project that you wanted to put some time and energy in, you know, that you could say, well, this is something that needs to be nurtured, what would that thing be for you?
You know, I have for years been just straddled with this thought that I needed to provide this medium for people like us to be able to come together and develop ourselves, be able to help one another. I truly believe that if we don't communicate and join as a collective, we won't be able to get anything done, because they do everything as a group. Even if they're mad at each other, they still work together and do everything to support one another. You might not know that they're arguing and in conflict, but when they're in front of you, they're gonna stay as a unit. We need to develop that kind of a strategy. And what I'd like to do is to work with people that have an interest in changing the way that we are living, so that we can develop a new way of living. We deserve that. We deserve that. I'm a senior. I know maybe 20, 30 years from now, I'm going to pass this mantle on to my grandchildren and my children. I don't want to leave them in the same situation that I've been in all my life, trying to figure out which way is up. No, I want them to, by that time, to have developed a strategy for themselves to survive. Because we need to be doing more than just surviving. We paid our dues. It's time for us to expand and expound on our lives so that we can do things to help our community, So let's do it. I don't know. If we meet once a week, maybe we can come up with some strategy to help other people that look like us that are trying to make it in this society develop their own business.
Hey, you know
I'd
what?
rather be-
Listen. You know what I think? I'm thinking. Is Anthony there?
yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm thinking. All right, because this is what I would say for myself. All right, I would say, what do I need? All right. So we're talking amongst ourselves about what others need. So if you have a core group and then you ask, what do you need? And if their needs right there at your table, I think then you focus on the needs of the media that's very, that's right there. And so I was thinking that way because my sister friend Gina, who runs Kuumba Garden, needed raised beds for her garden. And I worked with her to do a GoFundMe. It's really another organization that gives seed money for gardens. And so we worked together and we reached our goal yesterday of $2,000.
Excellent.
And so we, as a matter of fact, we exceeded it. And so that to me was immediate. That was something that felt like I really helped someone that's close to me that needed something.
All right.
So I think as we identify what those needs are, and I was sharing with Wanda, creating a foundation for the arts. I've always worked with artists for over 40 years. So that's my passion, is to see how, because when I look at media, to me, that's an art form. And if we have a foundation that can contribute to writers who submit articles, then what better way to be able to support them as a writer, you know? And then if they want to expand a bit further and publish a book, then here's a fund for them to get it to the publisher.
Yes.
And then you set them on their way that they blossom and now they're entrepreneurs and they don't need this seed money. And so that's something I'm really going, the more I think about it and the more I know that we made that happen yesterday, I want to see that in us. Like, you need a car, that could be something, because you really need a car. You're gonna go.
Telling me, I know.
You're gonna go. Hey, listen. How you gonna go film Obama when he get ready to take? They gonna say, "Hey, Miss Carr,
I'm still going right over there."
Need you. And you know what? And maybe it could be a media van.
Yeah.
For not necessarily. It's for the cause.
Yeah.
That we need to be, and then have media as that source of income, and as that source of revenue. And that's the thing, is that where are the revenue streams for whatever it is that we do or want to do? So Anthony, what would your desire be in this realm?
Well, I have a show. I have a show too that I'm starting back up January 6th, called Your House is on Fire.
Yeah.
On True High Definition Radio.net. I was on with Harold Davidson. We all know he died from COVID. And when he died, he left a boy. And so Ken, the engineer, came up with True High Definition.net radio. So he's probably one of the best engineers I know in radio.
Mm-hmm.
like 10 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his baby. And so I'm on every Wednesday from 11 to 12. And I want to see how Definition Radio grow. And I like to also see Wanda's platform grow too.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in media.
Yes.
Right.
And so only as Spike Lee said, and not only Spike Lee, Tony Brown Journal. Ain't nobody tell your story like you.
Nobody. Nobody
Okay.
can tell your story.
And if you want the right climax to the ending of your story, you better write it
You better write it.
and tell it. That's our job.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes money to do these things.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And
that's okay, go ahead.
And we got millionaires and billionaires out there who got plenty of money to do things, and we need to tap into them. Matter of fact, over the weekend there was the Black Summit, which is on Facebook that I talked about last week. And they did have that summit, and it was interesting. But we also had the Black Agenda Consortium that came out of Boston.
Okay.
But Reuben Fellows was all part of that group. And so my tax information is also part of that agenda too, because I'm pushing for us to get rid of property taxes. Okay, and it's something that needs to be done. That way, if we can get rid of property taxes, that would ease up a lot of capital for us to do more things with. There's other ways to pay for government than taxes.
Okay, so what would those other ways be? Because I think in your plight to get that concept pushed forward, it would be then like, what would your alternatives be? Because I think people don't have that foresight to see an alternative, and therefore they're not going to budge on that property tax because they feel, well, I'm getting my garbage picked up. I got transportation on the bus in the community. If I need to get, I got this, I got that. They can validate, like in their mind, maybe what those property taxes are for. So if you wanted to put the spin on, well, this is what would support the fire department and the garbage pickup and the this and the that. So what would the alternative be that would be the narrative for dropping the property taxes?
Well, glad you asked. Well, see, I am the originator of
That's the tax doctor, girl.
Well, I'm already asking the question.
I am the originator of the octopus hybrid tax system.
Okay.
And if you give me a few minutes, I will return to show you something that's very powerful. I'll be right back. Y'all go ahead and keep talking.
Ava.
All right.
So what say you? What would, if you had a magic wand and you could?
Now who are you talking to?
I don't know, because I know she's not sitting up here trying to put me on the spot.
I know. I'm like,
what the hell you want to know?
But we gonna put you on the spot. Well, you don't think you got a mind? We know you over there. Your brain is rolling like a roller coaster.
I know damn well I have a mind. Okay, I have a very powerful.
I'm sorry, Ava.
Powerful mind.
Ava.
It cannot be controlled by anyone other than me.
Listen, and I'm so sorry to be speaking to you like I just saw you yesterday.